For some great Baltimore sports talk, catch the Purple Pride Sports Show with host Bill West and producer Justin Ford, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 and Monday evenings from 7 to 8 on Q 1370 AM. Welcome back to Inside PressBox. I'm joined once again by PressBox's Ravens beat reporter Joe Platania. And Joe, Ravens have a huge game Sunday against the Denver Broncos, and then they have a very tough home game against the New York Giants, and some say then a tough game on the road in Cincinnati. They're 9-4 right now. Do you see them winning another game of these three games and clinching the AFC
North Division? Yeah, yes. They're certainly going to have to because, as I've already brought up on PressBoxOnline.com, this starts to remind me a little bit of 2004. Ravens were fighting for a wild card berth, were in good position, went 2-4 down the stretch, and it got away from them, and it led to a 2005 that was an absolute disaster. So if you want to avoid short-term and long-term complications and negativity, it would be good to nail down a playoff spot and the AFC North Division title within the next 2 weeks.
These two games coming up, Denver at home, and then next Sunday against the Giants at 4:25 in the afternoon. Which of those two games do you think is tougher, or are they each absolutely that?
I think the Denver game's tougher only because the Broncos have been more consistent. 8 wins in a row, the longest winning streak in the NFL this year. The New York Giants have been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde outfit, not really knowing what you're going to get home versus road. So I think Denver, as far as playoff positioning, the head-to-head tiebreaker within those top 4 seeds, it's more important, it's more crucial, and it's a tougher game.
All right, Joe, as we're wrapping this interview up, and we're not ready to get there yet, though, but there's 2.5-point spread. Denver is favored over the Baltimore Colts. You brought up the other night when we were driving down to Hagerstown to speak before Ravens Roost number 7. You brought up that the last time, and it's been, what, 3 years since the Ravens were a home field underdog. Yeah. The last time was also against Peyton Manning.
Right. Indianapolis came to town in 2009, and the Colts won that game 17-15. Matt Stover kicked a field goal midway through the fourth quarter. Joe Flacco drove the Ravens down the field, and Gary Brackett picked off a pass over the middle to kind of end those hopes. And interestingly enough, that was one of the first times we saw Joe Flacco scream at himself walking off the field that day. So that was kind of a watershed day because the Baltimore fans love to see Indianapolis go down. They want to see Peyton Manning get beat, but that day it just wasn't quite in the cards. But it's going to have to be this week if the Ravens want to stop this slide that they're on.
Ironically, Joe, and we got 1 minute to go, ironically, Dean Pease is not criticized that much, where Cam Cameron was criticized a lot. I think Dean has done a good job under some trying circumstances this year. Your thoughts on the newest in a long line of defensive coordinators for the Ravens? 4th defensive coordinator in the John Harbaugh era, 7th coordinator overall.
When you add in Jim Caldwell, Dean Pease is, and now that Jameel McClain's been ruled out for this game, there will only be 3 Raven defensive players who will have started every single game: Ed Reed, Bernard Pollard, Kerry Williams, and they've had their own problems too. So when you consider how well they played, especially during that midpoint of the season, it's pretty amazing what Dean Pease has been able to do.
Joe's saying 27-17 Denver. I'm not that far off the more I see the Ravens' injuries on defense. Very tough. Yeah. Joe, thank you for coming in. As always, a pleasure. With the Ravens, a home Ravens game this Sunday, don't forget to come out, check out the PressBox Touchdown Zone on the corner of Sharp and Ostend Streets. We've got tons of great food, including a variety of Roma sausages. That's Ed Reed's favorites. There's a full bar stocked with plenty of Stoli and Sailor Jerry spiced rum, as well as Bud and Bud Light. We've also got you covered with a no-fee ATM, thanks to our friends at Geico. You can spin the prize wheel with Jack FM and win cold weather gear from 180s. The PressBox Touchdown Zone is the best pregame event, and it's only 2 blocks from the stadium at the corner of Sharp and Ostend Streets, so stop by and say hello. When we come back after this short break, I'll offer up my own commentary on Cam Cameron and Steve Bisciotti. We'll be right back. Inside PressBox is presented by Friedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to Friedmont.com now for all of your mortgage needs.